Hi guys, we're back on our this is your caster DJ Ram. I've got the lovely Kitty co-casting for me. So we were just talking about the bans and the picks. Incarnation sadly had his Kha'Zix banned out, and I'm just gonna hand it over to Kitty to continue talking about the bans and picks. So Kitty, take it away.
We had seen Ari being picked on the blue team, and typically we have seen him playing Ari a lot, and last game he played Azir, so I am actually wondering what he's gonna pick up now. And Redeemer has picked up Graves, and Graves deals so much of damage, and Redeemer is a very well known ADC. So giving him Graves, and then here he is being coupled with Danny. Danny is a very well, like one of the top supports, and he has picked up Jana. So that will be a very interesting lane. Chipkali has picked up a possible Zinx pick, and Goku with an Orianna pick.
Yep. So I'm just wondering, didn't Danny actually pick up the Ari last time? I was just wondering. Okay, never mind. I think it was Ripcord then. But yeah, hopefully we will see another Ari pickup. But right now, Chip Cully is hovering over the Jinx. We're also hovering over the Orianna. I really want to see an Orianna because it's my favorite champ. I always
Look at the amount of CC the purple team has got. If they had picked Orianna, that was a last minute change, and he switched to Riven. And Goku is very well known. I mean, Riven is his main champion. He actually got Riven in this game, so we are bound to play some really very aggressive, very going into all in plays, I suppose, from the red team. And
so Riven is no slouch when talking about AoE. I mean, every single one of her abilities pretty much grants AoE, and we actually see Ripcord picking up the Orianna, and Colossus, I think picking up a pretty Colossus champ, Malphite or Shyvana. It's actually been quite a while since I've seen a Shyvana, nearly half a year, and it would be lovely to see a Shyvana yet again. So what do you think about this blue team right now?
They are very well experienced players, and they are very strong individually also, as a team also. And I think they have they have a great CC. They have Sejuani, they have Orianna, and they have Colossus. Colossus, he is on Jax. He is known to be one of the best top laners in India, and he is very strong with Jax as a split pusher in team fights and everything. Then they have Graves, they have Jana, they have Engage also, and they have Disengage also. So blue team is looking pretty solid at the moment. Now if we see at the red team, they have also some very good picks. That's a possible Zerath pick, and I think that's a very good pick against an Orianna.
Yeah, so you were mentioning that Chip Cully is an amazing ADC, and so this is the thing. Chip Cully did play a mid laner last time. I mean, he did pick up Azir, even though he didn't run straight to the mid lane, and now he's just decided to sit and play ADC. Widowmaker is hitting up the jungle, even though he did support last time with Morgana. So I'm just seeing a bunch of players playing different roles. I'm not particularly sure.
Widowmaker might just go on support, and
Orion might
actually
switch
they
over.
might actually switch over. Yeah, so at the moment we can't say, and we have actually seen from the GamingPhreaks that like usually what we see is that in one team that the assigned role, that's what they stick to. Okay, but in GamingPhreaks we have seen that time and again they have actually switched over their roles. So I don't see anyone actually exchanging there on the red team, so I think it's safe to say now that Widow is actually gonna go jungle and not support, and that the Orion is going support this time.
Yeah, so it's lovely to see the versatility coming out of the purple team, that is GamingPhreaks, just playing a bunch of different roles, and that pretty much tells you how much talent these players possess at such a high level. Just usually, you just, as you said, Kitty, people usually main a particular lane and they stick to that lane. They don't try to even change it, at least for the season. Hopefully, just for the season, they try to stick to that particular lane. But we do see that the purple team, that is GamingPhreaks, has high versatility, and they're doing really well in roles that were not particularly their mains. Even though Chip Cully does main both mid and ADC, as was said by you, and you did say that Goku's Riven is really good, and I'm actually waiting for all of this to happen. I guess Goku's is going mid.
Yeah.
And he did go mid
it's
last time with Lucian.
one thing to notice is that
Yep.
actually it was not a Zerat pick, it was a Lissandra pick.
Sorry, Lissandra,
And
yeah.
it was a Lissandra pick and with a teleport. So now Lissandra is gonna go top, or and Riven is gonna go mid, or it's actually gonna be a mid laner Lissandra with a teleport. We yet have to see what the Gaming Freak has in mind this game, because like last 2-3 games I have spectated, they have actually not gone the traditional way. They have Swiss lanes, they have sent their ADC to the mid laner to the bot, and it has actually worked out pretty well for them. Like in the end, last game also they did lose it, but it was a very close and very like interesting fight between the two teams for the win. So I think I'm again expecting some role switches over here from the Gaming Freaks.
I'm actually waiting to see how well the Widowmaker does, because he did do well on the Morgana in the beginning of the game, even though over the course of the game they did end up losing that lead and eventually losing to Loyola Hangout. But I do want to see if Widowmaker can give Gaming Freaks the lead that they had in the beginning of the last game. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to Incarnation's Sejuani, because you did say that he is probably one of the best Kha'Zix players. So with such a beast burst champ that is Kha'Zix, I want to see how he fares on a tank or a semi-tank like Sejuani. I'm also looking for the Janna plays. We've seen some really mean plays with Janna. The collateral damage coming out of Graves, if he can get that onto 3 people, that's team fight 1 right there. And we've got the Jinx with her passive getting excited. Looking forward to that too. We saw some mean Thresh plays last game coming out of Loyola Hangout. That Thresh came up with, I think it was 42 assists by the end of the game. And my favorite champ, definitely out of all of them, was Orianna, and that's being played by an expert Ripcord. So I'm looking forward to that. And the Jax is definitely a hyper carry. So, yep. So as I said, Colossus is recognized as one of the best top laners in India. So looking forward to him facing off against Pro Brosen, who did pretty well on his Scion in the beginning of the game, even though the game did slip out of their hands. So over the course of the game, who do you think will scale better, Kitty?
I think the blue team at the moment, because the thing is that first of all, they're a very experienced team as such, and plus they have a Sejuani and they have an Orianna. Into a late game, Sejuani ult does a lot of damage, and she is just such a beast, and she is so tanky. And Orianna, her damage, her ultimate is too much. And then Graves is obviously a beast by the end. The damage he deals is just like uncomparable to any other ADC, I feel. And Jax again, he is such a strong split pusher, and he just he can actually chase into anyone and actually solo kill anyone. So I believe blue team is looking pretty strong, but Gaming Freaks, I think they're also gonna give their all in. Goku is at his Riven, so that's one thing. Typically is at his Zings, that is one thing. So I think it will be a very interesting match to watch.
Yeah, you definitely had a lot of good things to say about Incarnation and Colossus, so I'm looking forward to both of their plays. We know that Jax is definitely a nemesis, just as his skin entails, and we see a pause straight out into the game as we did last game. But yeah, so talking about the Jax, his split pushing is just crazy, so I'm looking forward to that beast split pushing, and hopefully we do see some real mean plays from the Jax, and might see a couple of 1v2s, and well, people can learn from the pros, and Colossus is probably one of the best, and we will learn something, thing or two from him. And we're just waiting for the pause, well, for the game to unpause, and hopefully it'll be in a bit. Thinking that someone has actually disconnected. But just going back to, well, the blue team, we've spoken about the blue team, Kitty, so what do you think about the red team? They've got an unorthodox team, in my opinion, but how do you think that they could possibly win? Are there any ways?
No, the thing is that Amumu as such deals a lot of damage, and if he decides to go all tanky and not AP, which probably he would, seeing that they have Riven and Lissandra, both of them are not tanky. So Amumu engage, and then Lissandra Ulsen, she will deal so much of damage, and then Riven is such a beast, and plus he is like one of Goku's main. So if the blue team is unable to shut down Riven very like early into the game, and Riven does get to like the game actually stretches, he is actually gonna pick one kill after the other. And Zinx also, Chip Kali is very good with Zinx, and they have Thresh also, so they have lot of CC. Like in both the teams you can see like they have lot of CC. So I think it actually depends on the situation and how they, like, if one of them gets caught out or something like that, they'll have to be very careful. And the junglers will have a very major role in this. The vision control, any team with the better vision control will actually win over.
Alright, so, well folks, the game's just been unpaused, and the players are just rushing towards the river. There's been 3 pings up near the Baron side, thinking that the blue team might be, no, they've decided against an invade. We haven't seen any invades lately, and so they're just gonna ward up near the Baron brush. And yep, so standard items, maybe, yeah, Jax has gone for the crystalline flask, whereas the Lissandra has gone for the Doran's ring, so we might see some damage from the Lissandra, just the early harass. We see the Jax sort of just baiting a teleport back.
What do you think about the Orianna versus Riven lane?
Orianna versus Riven, skill matchup for sure, because you didn't know I mean, we know that Riven has a Q spam, so she can cover ground real fast. I mean, it's faster than Orianna using her sorry, forgive me, I actually forgot her W spell. Yeah, so it's faster than her using her dissonance. So the Riven can cover ground real fast. So I actually think that I might have to favor the Riven after a while. After 6, the Riven might be able to take down the Orianna, but pre-6, maybe not. Maybe the Orianna will poke her out. And you did mention that Ripcord is a really good mid laner.
I have seen Ripcord. I have seen Ripcord mostly going very, very offensive on Orianna, that the other mid laner can like barely stand in the lane. But seeing that he is matched up against Goku, who is also a very experienced Riven player, so I think for me the mid lane is gonna be where my eyes are gonna be at.
Fair enough. So the junglers have started. Well, Sejuani has gone for a standard path and just taken out the Krugs. Amumu's just on the blue after doing the Gromp, and he'll take that down soon enough. Bot lane's actually 2v2. We don't see a 2v1 swap as we did last game. We see a fail hook from Orion, but not sure if he actually meant to hit Graves with that. Level 1 hooks are not really worth it. See some really strong engages from Colossus. He just goes straight into harass mode on the Lissandra. The Lissandra is trying to poke back, but yeah, she's just trying to farm right now. So yep, so it's pretty passive lanes early. The junglers aren't making any early moves. We might see a gank mid by Sejuani after clearing out the Raptors, or maybe not. She's going pretty low. The Orianna takes some damage from the Riven. The Riven actually took a lot more damage. So you were right about that, Kitty. Like his Orianna plays are really good. But yeah, Orianna has used both her pots. Riven does have 1 pot left, so might see some strong plays, and there is a gank by Incarnation.
Riven actually went aggressive on Orianna, and Orianna was taken
we
very
might
low.
see a
and
kill on the
very
Riven.
Early gank.
The gank does fail, but the Riven gets taken pretty low, and she has to use her other health pot, which has just run out. So the Riven did have 3 health pots. So yeah, so right now she's only got a long sword. So yep, so let's see how this goes. Ripcord does lose his ignite over this. Goku has his ignite. We might see a gank from Amumu, Widowmaker, and he's just waiting in the wings. This should be really good. And there's a flash from Amumu. There might be a flash from Ripcord soon, but we might see we see a first blood onto Riven. Riven just gets taken down. We do see that Ripcord gets taken down. There's a teleport onto a minion, and Jax just takes down the Amumu. So Widowmaker does,
and he actually manages to get like a double buff out of that,
he does,
and I think that was completely worth it.
Yeah, definitely
See,
a win
that
for
is
the
what
blue
I
team.
was telling about being like one of the best top laners. He actually pushed up top, so he is not gonna miss anything. And since he was one level up Lissandra, so he's not even gonna lose much of experience. And he actually even manages to pick up a kill mid also.
I actually think
So
that was more. That I actually think that was planned. I think Ripcord knew that it was going to be worth it for him to die and still let Colossus just take down Amumu. So Ripcord didn't like he went for an aggressive play. I'm pretty sure Ripcord did know that Amumu was waiting in the wings. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone that aggressive and baited out. Might see a kill onto Riven, but there's a quick flash. Colossus does lose his flash over it, but he is still near mid, but he's running back top. But yeah, going back to Ripcord's plan, I think he did know that Amumu was sitting in the wings, but he knew that it was going to be worth it if we could get a kill on Colossus and get him buffed up early, and he can just rip up Pro Broson on this Lissandra. So yeah, so I've already seen some great plays from Colossus, and some great plays from Ripcord. I'm just waiting to see something special from Incarnation. Hopefully we'll probably see a mid gank from Incarnation. He's just clearing up his raptors. The bot lane's going even, so nothing special to see in the bot lane. They're just farming up. There's a minion deficiency on the side of Jinx by about 9 now, so the Graves is getting ahead. There's some aggressive play onto Orianna from Riven. She takes just as much damage from it. But how do you think the lanes are going now, Kitty? Like, do you think that Ripcord and Colossus could just snowball this game out of control?
well, it certainly looks so, but the thing is that it's still pre-level 6, only Colossus just hit level 6, and the
Yep.
mid is still level, like pre-level 6, and the damage the Riven gets from her ultimate is just too much, and even Orianna has that ult, so it's like whoever engages first and kills off. And I think both of them, like, they are snowballing their lanes, but then at the end of the day the team fight matters the most.
Yeah, so right now Riven does have a double longsword, whereas Orianna has gone for that early Seeker's Arm Guard. There's an engage onto Pro Broson by Colossus, but yeah, there's a gank actually at mid by Incarnation. He might be going in on Goku's. Might see an ult from Goku's. Think he's waiting to just take down Ripcord, and he goes all in on Ripcord. We might see a kill onto Ripcord, or actually it's going to be Goku's going down. So Goku's goes down to Orianna, that is Ripcord. So we've already seen this. So Ripcord is going to snowball out of control in just a bit. One more kill, that's enough to make him snowball, and he's already started on his path, or on his way. At the top, Colossus is just pushing Pro Broson right up to the tower. Colossus is actually at a lead of about 13 minions, so yep, so this is looking really, really bad for Team GamingPhreaks.
I think
Might
the
see an
minion
early
lead
dragon.
is just picking up. And
Yeah, it's picking up pretty hard, and we might see an early dragon too. What do you think about this early dragon, Kitty?
Well, the thing is that I think he'll be able to pull off, because as you can see, and it is very actually weird that we have not a single ward on the map.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually quite surprised, because GamingPhreaks had loads of wards in the beginning of the game, last game, right?
I think they're
But-
pretty tensed up in this game, and I think there is also this difference that Widowmaker is not their support, and he is actually doing jungle, and he actually did do his part, and he was like very successful in taking the dragon at 8 minutes.
In my opinion, yeah, I think that the previous loss really got to them, and it's just hitting them in their morale. I think Goku's might be caught out if he does hit that tri-bush, but he decides not to. The blue team does know where Goku's is, and he might just get taken down. Ripcord knows where Goku's is. He's waiting. Ripcord still takes a stun straight to the face. He takes quite a bit of damage. Goku's is probably going to go down, and he will go down to Ripcord. No, he actually engages on Ripcord. This might have been... Oh my god. So Ripcord has to blow his flash because our Incarnation decided to let the kill go to Ripcord. So I don't think that was really worth it. I mean, Ripcord was fed regardless of whether he got that kill. So I think that was a misplay on the part of both the mid laner and the jungler. So that was probably the first mistake that they've done. And there's a steal onto blue. Now actually, Amumu does get the blue. So Incarnation fails the steal, but he will get away from the Widowmaker, and he walks straight out of there. They're just taking the Scuttle Crab, some passive play at bot lane, just farming up, and we see Colossus just stealing that red. Kitty, you were just saying that Colossus is one of the best top laners, and he just went straight into the enemy jungle and just stole the red and just pretty much teleported out of there.
That's like his signature. Colossus just loves red buff.
Wow, this is really well played by him. This is definitely really well played by him. I haven't seen anyone play this well in a while. That's a 9-minute red buff steal. So
I mean, you have to keep in mind. I mean, just think that person, like, he lets go of the first red, and then he actually keeps the timer, and he's spot on. The moment incarnation is actually going on as blue, he calculates and takes the red buff of the enemy team. And there are no wards, so he is like completely safe. So even if he is like low taking the red buff, he can actually like get back to his lane and recall. And
yeah, so he's playing a really smart game. Yeah. So yeah, we do see. We actually see the Glacial Prison miss. Glacial Prison.
Ultimate, yeah.
Yeah. So Incarnation actually ran out of mana
being propped up by Lissandra bot, but I don't think so. There'll be any engage, and she probably.
I actually think that Lissandra just premeditated that TP. I don't think that was a good idea. Regardless of whether actually the Glacial Prison didn't hit, so. We knew that the blue team was going to back off. They weren't going to stay because Sejuani did run out of mana. Redeemer is pretty much out of mana. The only person with any mana is Janna, and she can only do so much. So I think that TP wasn't really worth it. Didn't push them out of lane either. It was just,
I think at the moment
just premeditated.
The red team is actually feeling like all the pressure, and they're doing this.
Yeah, definitely. And the top tower just goes down at 11 minutes to Jax. That's a solo push on the top tower, so this is definitely just professional play.
Another signature of Colossus is like he'll just keep pushing, he'll be very aggressive, and even after taking the first turret, he just goes and solo and he keeps pushing his lane. He comes like to help his teammates when he needs to.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely.
Very signature
so Colossus,
moves by Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus definitely knows what's happening around the map, so his map awareness is off the charts. He's doing really, really well. And Lissandra's being pushed up to the second tier tower now. Colossus is just a monster. He's a beast, and he knows that there are two people just standing around the Krugs. He seems to know. He might be going hard on the Lissandra. He does, and we might see a kill on to someone. No, actually, Widowmaker has to blow Amumu's ult. Yep.
That actually saved Lissandra's life. But Incarnation going in, and he decides to actually go back to his own jungle. Meanwhile,
so
as we can see that already at 12 minutes, the Flux has a 4k lead, and almost every lane they're like in GamingPhreaks, they're behind in their CS.
Yeah, so Colossus is basically like way up in CS. He's like 40 CS in the lead, and Ripcord is about 30 CS in the lead. See, Graves is about 30 CS, 40 CS on the lead against Jinx. So this is definitely getting out of control. Even the junglers are respectively, Sejuani is higher than GamingPhreaks jungler right now. So this is looking really, really bad for GamingPhreaks, and we might see Goku going down. And
but
I think he just missed his command attack. Yeah, so he just misses his command attack. Actually, it just goes out of range. We might see a kill onto the Lissandra first. Colossus does go pretty low. He flashes over the wall. We might still see a kill on the Lissandra. He decides not to dive, but we will probably see a dive from the Orianna. No, she decides to back off. Probably for the best, in case she gets stunned right onto the tower. It's not a good idea to throw this lead. They decide to back off. We might see a little bit of counter jungling, just taking down the Raptors by Sejuani. The bot is being pushed up to the tower. We know that Chip Cully on the Jinx can take down the tower pretty fast, but just standing on a ward, decides to teleport back to the base. Decides not to push on the tower, just fearing for any pressure from the blue team. So they're just pushing up the mid right now. Ripcord is going pretty aggressive, as you said, Kitty. He is an aggressive player, and just pushed straight up to the tower, and he teleports back to the base. And it's just back to a calm game. It's been 4-1 for quite a bit now. and
And we
Goku's
see
is definitely
Sejuani
afraid.
roaming all around the mid. I think
Yep.
they also know that Goku is like one person to near that needs to be shut down. And also one thing about Incarnation Jungle is that he usually actually ganks he ganks one lane so much and almost makes one of the enemy team champions completely
Yeah,
off the
we might actually
game.
see someone go down here, but decides to back off. Yeah. So you're saying, Kitty, so he just camps one lane. So is that what you were saying? Yep.
And
Yeah,
in
so in
this
my
game,
opinion,
I seem to have camped the mid
continue.
lane.
Yeah, he did camp mid lane. Yeah, he did help out Goku's to a large extent. And yeah, in my opinion, Incarnation has definitely pulled ahead on the Sejuani. We did see. I've actually forgotten who.
Oh, that was a nice steal,
Jungle
Sejuani.
last game.
Incarnation actually, this time for the second time, he was successful in stealing the blue buff.
Yeah, so this is actually his second time trying to steal the blue buff, and this time he takes it down, and there's just beautiful
Meanwhile,
play
Charge
from
takes the second red buff.
when
And,
sure that Pro is going to go down. Actually, we might see Colossus going down, and Colossus does go down to the Amumu's ult. That's a 3v1, and Colossus nearly got a kill off on Lissandra. So yeah, we're gonna see some great plays. We see a collateral damage onto Chip Kali, but he just barely escapes, and Orion's ult saved him, and now it's just back to calm lanes. We actually see a mid gank from Widowmaker. We might see a bandage toss, but no, Ripcord's still playing aggressive. He hasn't got a ward over there. Oh my god, Ripcord nearly just got caught. Might see Goku go down. Actually, Ripcord's going pretty aggressive on Goku, and Ripcord's just taunting him, just laughing it away. And I don't think he's gonna let
Ripcord
Goku
already
recall.
has got his Zonias already, whereas Goku is still he also has his damage items.
Yeah, so that's
got Brutalizer
that's
and
like a
Pickaxe.
12-minute Zonias and a 12-minute Sorcerer shoot. So I have
And I
absolutely no
think
words to explain how good
Flux
this is.
might be able to take the first turret down.
Right now,
Sorry,
it seems like
second turret.
flux'Gaming can take down absolutely anything right now. They don't have to worry about anything. They're doing so well. Ripco's just being so cocky. He doesn't care about anything. Just walks straight up to the tower. He can take a couple of shots and not worry about it. And so yeah, so Colossus is just splitting up top, and I'm pretty sure he can continue doing that because Probro's on his Lissandra is actually not looking too good right now. And the bot lane has seen very little action. What do you think about this bot lane, Kitty?
Well, the thing is that, as I've mentioned, the Colossus, it's his game to go all aggressive, and he usually gets that thing. And we're seeing that Incarnation has camped mid, so bot lane is just farming. They are not that worried because Graves is actually doing pretty well. He has that CS lead now. They're freezing up the farm also, so they know that they have
We're
more
gonna see Goku go
damage.
down, and Goku does go down to Colossus. So yeah, continue. You were saying about Colossus.
Yeah, I'm talking about the bot lane. I mean,
Yeah,
already they are not, they're freezing up. See, Graves and Jana, they're freezing up. So things, it's they know that where the jungler is, because the red team, they know that blue team knows that they can't expect a gank from Amumu because he is too busy top and mid. So they're just farming their way, getting strong. All Graves need is some kills and some of his items, and he's a beast to go.
I actually think that
Jana,
Widowmaker might go
with
down.
Jana at his side.
Amumu does flash out of the shockwave, but he will go down to Colossus. And Colossus does take down the Widowmaker, and Colossus just roaming down bottom. We might see a dive onto the bot tower. Chip Kali is the target at the moment, but they decide not to dive and throw this lead away because they don't want Chip Kali to get a double or a triple.
I think
so
they're actually gonna
Chip Kali is
engage.
definitely
They'll
gonna
take
die
Chip Kali
now.
down.
Yep.
Both of them are
they're
gonna
just
die
waiting
down.
for the minute. There's an amazing ult from Sejuani, and Orion's next on the list, but they decide to go on high on Goku's. I think
That was a
Jana
nice
just
ult
ulted
by
it.
Jana.
Yep, so Jana just ults, and they were just pretty much waiting for the minion wave to come up before they dove, and Colossus is still just taunting them so hard. Goku's can't do anything right now. He's fallen behind drastically, and well, you can just see how Rip was just roam top to prevent that top tower from falling because Colossus had to teleport a TP bot. So this is really well played from Team Flux. And I'm guessing Ripco's just going to take the blue while he's at it. Just hitting up the Gromp, but he actually decided not to take...
and he uses up his Zonia.
Okay, that's some pro playing right there, so I'm not going to complain. Goku's is just walking straight up to the Raptors. That's pretty much the only thing he can get for now for gold, as far as gold is concerned. He's a very sad guy right now, and some pings onto Incarnation from his own team for some reason. I don't know, they're just having a bit of fun. But Colossus is a massive, I don't know, disadvantage for GamingPhreaks. I mean, they would love to have him on their team right now. He's just wrecking everyone, and Widowmaker might go down to a 3v1, and Widowmaker will go down to Graves. They just give him the kill. Redeemer picks that up. Ripcord just picks up the blue. Goku's is roaming bot. I don't think that Goku's is at the liberty to roam right now. He should rather just be farming up and trying to get found up as much as possible, as fast as possible. What do you think, Kitty? Should he be roaming at this point?
Well, I think it's not about roaming, but the thing is that since the blue team has got the entire control over the bot jungle, like both sides, you can see the number of pink wards, you can see the number of wards into the enemy jungle, and they are not that bothered about Colossus, because Colossus just has that innate sense where the enemy team is gonna be. So yeah, I mean, Riven, that's all they can do, like try to pick up, like whenever, like they're just waiting for the Flux to make one mistake. But I think it's a very
yeah, the game's
it's a very normal game for the Flux, because I have seen them doing this time again and again, that in their bot, like they get there, like Colossus usually always wins his lane. I've never seen him lose lane. And in mid, Ripcord was there, he plays aggressive, Incarnation helped him out, and usually after winning, like by like mid game, after they have won their top and mid lane, they all go bot, and till then the bot is just farming, they all go bot, they take down the bot turret, and that's just how they do it.
Ripcord just uses his Zonias effectively, but I think he might still be taken down. No, that's an amazing ult from Janna. She just saves Ripcord. Ripcord gets the double buff and he walks away unscathed, and he might go down. Oh, that's that was a really good shield from Ripcord. Saves himself. Riven sadly does go down, and might see a dive onto Probrosin from Colossus, but to no avail. Does not go down that way. Chipkale and Redeemer just going at it. But yeah, overall it seems like Flux Gaming is just ripping this game apart. It's definitely torn it into two, and it's in the favor of Flux Gaming, and it's definitely their game to lose right now. I'm pretty sure they won't lose this. I hope they don't lose this, because they're such a huge lead, and it'll be sad to see them just throw this away. And I doubt that they will, considering the Colossus, Ripcord and Incarnation are highly esteemed. And
well, actually, Redeemer and Danny, they themselves are very esteemed too. Danny is known for his, like, Danny is a very, very well-known support in India. He is considered one of the best. Like, last game we saw Shifu support, so Danny is equivalent to that. And he had the calls Danny makes, and the sense of game and everything that Danny has, his knowledge about the game is just, like, great. And plus Redeemer is also considered one of the good like best ADCs over here. So Flux Gaming is a very, very strong team as such, and they are actually showing their they're actually showing their strength in this game.
Yeah, so this is
they're closing in on the mid, and that was a nice hook on Graves by Thresh, but seeing the amount of lead already, the game, see that tankiness on Sejuani, how
yeah, I think the game is pretty much just this is not the time that you want to be hooking at anyone, really, because it's too late for these hooks. I mean, you can just see how far the Graves is in a lead. He's got 226 to 176 CS from the Jinx, and well, the hooks are not going to really help anymore. It's at that point. I mean, of course, he still wants those hooks at some crucial times, but Just at the tower, the hooks aren't gonna guarantee you any kills anymore. So it's basically just stalling the game out, trying to get fed somehow or the other, getting some CS in. Riven is trying really hard. She's actually 0-6-2 now, but you can just see how hard Goku is trying on that Riven. Because I've seen a couple of times where he's played really well, but just, I don't know, he's had to take 2v1s. He nearly took down Ripcord a couple of times, but sadly, Ripcord was saved by Janna, well played by Janna, and Incarnation on his Sejuani. Incarnation does pick up their second dragon for flux'Gaming, and ProBrosen just pushes up the top lane to the tower. But these respective jungles, sadly, Amumu has fallen behind. He's still doing okay, 2-3-0 comparative to the rest of his team.
He has the only kills in the team.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's doing pretty well compared to the rest of the team, but still kind of a poor performance from GamingPhreaks. Sadly, I actually think this is a result of the loss from their previous game. It's just a morale beat, seriously, to tell the truth. And Widowmaker just has to flash over the wall. Chip Curly just puts down the chompers, and that's pretty much it. And just some BM. Colossus gets caught at top, and we might see him go down. No, he actually escapes, and we see Goku just misses out by a mile. So I don't think it's a lack of skill. I actually think that they just yeah, okay, there's an amazing ult at the bottom by Orianna and Incarnation. Incarnation actually gets a 4-man glacial prison, tanks up the tower. Widowmaker goes down to Sejuani. Ripcord takes down the Thresh. And that's what I mean. I don't think this is a lack of skill from GamingPhreaks.
I don't think so. It is like a poor performance on the GamingPhreaks part. It's just that the Flux is doing like really awesome.
They're doing really well, and GamingPhreaks just lost the game.
That they are such experienced players, and they are very strong as a team, and very experienced team as such.
Yeah, so it's actually a really great performance from an experienced group. That is flux'Gaming, and I can't blame the GamingPhreaks because they did just face a defeat. Sadly, that was very close. The game was very close, and it got broken open at like about the last 5 minutes of the game.
And I would actually like to compliment like Progros and Lissandra. I mean, seeing that Colossus is so aggressive, still she has not given any kills to Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus has definitely been really good, and ProBrosen to have to put up with that, and he's the only one that hasn't died on his team. So
and he's actually keeping up with the CS also, because I mean losing the first turret was actually in favor of ProBrosen, because now after that he was actually able to farm.
Yeah, he froze up the waves for about a couple of waves and then to back up, and he's done really well. He's actually done really well. He did well on his Scion, of course. Did fall off a little bit, but regardless, he did well on his Scion, and he's definitely doing well on his Lissandra. There hasn't been any poor performance, but there have been some misplaced. It's not because of a lack of skill, it's probably just their morale, just getting hit pretty hard. Goku just flashes out from Incarnation. I think this game is drawing to a close, even though it's only been 27 minutes. The game is drawing to a close. It's just a slow finish, but we might see a siege from the blue team, that is flux'Gaming. They catch out ProBrosen. This is his first death, sadly. Yeah, so yeah, he does go down, sadly. I would have loved to see him just stay alive for the rest of the game, but that's not going to happen. And flux'Gaming just decides to take down the top tower. You can just see how tanky Incarnation
is tanking.
It just takes like 5 shots. Yeah, he just takes 5 shots along with the Orianna shield. And are they attempting a Baron? We might see an early Baron. It's not an early Baron, but yeah, we might see a 28-minute Baron. There is a ward, and I'm pretty sure they will clear it out. And Danny does have
well, the red team is in no position to contest it. They might just try to steal it, but I think Danny is actually contemplating that, like expecting that, and yeah, that
was a good ult from Incarnation to prevent the steal. And Widowmaker does go down just an inch away from that lantern, so the irony there is pretty sad. And Colossus just pushing up the top lane, and the rest of the team, rest of flux'Gaming is just pushing up the mid lane. We've got the Baron up minions just pushing hard. Pro seems just struggling to keep the wave off. He doesn't have enough damage to take down the Baron minions, but does have quite a bit of damage. He's got his long, needlessly large road, and he's building towards
I
Sonya's.
think
But we do.
typically just barely manages to escape.
Yeah, he was
And
nearly caught.
the mid
Yeah,
inhibitor
so.
goes down. Colossus in the meantime is pushing up mid. GamingPhreaks is really and whoa, that was a nice.
Well, that was the biggest burst I've ever seen of any champion. You just saw Lissandra just get bursted down by Oriana's
I
shockwave
was just
and
saying that
Colossus.
Lissandra
Just,
has like 0 deaths and sadly
yeah, and
twice
Chidam's
under a
ulti,
minute.
yeah, which is this is just pro playing and skill at its best. So it's an experienced
Flux
team against
just wants to
the up and
finish the
coming
game.
team. So Colossus
They've got-
has definitely been one of the best players on his team right now, and everyone's played really well. But I have to give credit to Colossus. And
Well,
as I said, the
congratulations
previous
to the
game,
Flux'Gaming on winning. GamingPhreaks also did their best.
hopefully GamingPhreaks do have a win soon enough, maybe in the upcoming week for the finals. And it was lovely chatting with you, Kitty, and I hope
Same here.
to be on stream with you again. Yep. Have fun, guys. I think that was our last game, but if there's anything up, our admin will tell you.